Yo guys, it's Clement, and today we are back for a new video, part of the complete guide to Eastern US 2023 copyright. So today we're gonna be focusing on the black car. So the black car is obviously a very easily distinguishable car, thus it's pretty useful, and there are not that many clusters that are usually quite easily tellable apart. So for reference, what does the black car look like? Okay, this is pretty bad. This is what the black car looks like. Obviously easy to tell here on a wide dirt road, but like even if we go in here, it's a bit harder, but you can tell this looks a bit dark. Here we do have more grainy pavement. It is pretty easy to tell. We go in here. This is kind of a more difficult location. Here you do have a lighter pavement, but yeah, pretty easy to tell this is black. Like it doesn't look blue or whatever else. This is just straightforward black. So we're gonna be focusing on this car. So what you want to do is grab my documents and go into black car, and then you can see like every cluster of black car that you're gonna get. So, and you also have the practice map, which we are gonna copy and paste. Wait. Okay. So within the Great Plains, so firstly, you can tell you have different areas, and the clusters are gonna help you region guess, for example, the Great Plains or like the Midwest or the Northeast, etc. So if we go into the Great Plains section, we can see that we have mainly North Dakota and Kansas, and Minnesota I did include in the Great Plains because it looks more similarly to like Kansas and North Dakota than the rest of Midwest. North Dakota is again a very just kind of like Nebraska. It is a pretty gettable cluster usually. It has a very unique rolling, very green landscape because it's like deep summer and a lot of dirt roads. Then, I mean, as usual, if you want more details, notably about urban coverage and stuff, you can look at this for yourself. You do have a cluster in middle Minnesota, which tends to be more winterish, or like there's a bunch either summer, like early spring, winter, and stuff, which can look very depressing. Okay, I'm gonna just do this. Then you have the Wichita cluster in southern Kansas. Looks pretty dry, kind of looks like Nebraska, but with black car. It is more flat than Nebraska though, so can be differentiated in a way. And yeah, then you have the Amarillo early spring coverage, so this is not going to be very common. In the Midwest, this is where you get a huge cluster here in Indiana. Mostly Indiana, it does spill a little bit into Illinois and Ohio, but that is very useful to know because you know that you, for example, you're not going to be in Iowa or like Missouri. You're going to be mostly in Indiana and like not even Illinois and Ohio. It's going to be pretty rare. So here you kind of have your average click for like the average Midwestern round. Yeah, you also have some in Upper Peninsula, Michigan, which is good to know. It's just very forested. And yeah, here's the Indiana stuff with a bunch of urban coverage. Now in the southern US, you don't really have that much black car. You have a bit in Alabama. You have a bit in around Charlotte. That's good to know in North Carolina. You have a bit around Ocala in Florida. And in the south of Kentucky, and a little bit in middle Arkansas. So middle Arkansas here, descriptions, a bit like late fall. You have the Glasgow, Kentucky cluster, so southern Kentucky, very forested. Birmingham cluster, I think it's like early spring and stuff, with some urban coverage. Have the Charlotte cluster, which is often like spring coverage, so like pretty recognizable sometimes. Here you have the wide lines. Have a little bit of a cluster in far northwest Panhandle, Florida, so it's kind of hard to know where this is, but it's in northwestern Florida. You can see here. It's here. Have the west of Ocala cluster, which is pretty common. And yeah, within the northeast you have quite a few clusters, so I did make a practice map. The western New York cluster, the eastern New York cluster. Western New York tends to be a lot of spring coverage. You have Maine, southern Maine, you have a little bit in far north Vermont, and you have a bit in like far south New York, Connecticut border, and southern Rhode Island. So let's see. Western New York. Yeah, yeah, from April to September, so a bit of everything, a little bit of early fall, have some spring coverage, like there's a bunch of everything here. I didn't really include any spring location, which is a bit tough. Here then you have eastern New York. It's a bit more hilly and like deeply forested. You have southern Maine with those like very Canadian looking fir trees, which usually very different from anything else you'll see. You have a bit of early spring as well, even like very early spring that looks like winter. Then you have Max North, Vermont, which is summer and very mountainous and kind of looks like the same cluster you have in Striped Car in that area. Coastal Rhode Island's very unique, a lot of rock walls, older houses like that with rock walls around, and like more like coastal type of vegetation in a way. And yeah, that's about it for Black Car. I'll just do this. So yeah, let's get straight into the gameplay. So I have the Eastern US Black 2023 map open. I'm gonna start, as well as the JSON that you can download yourself in the from the document. It's in the beginning of the doc here. So let's get into the gameplay. So yeah, it looks like the Midwest, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it says Indiana, I think, like Indiana text on top of that sign, like that's the Indiana road shield. Lawrenceville, Marshall, not exactly sure where those places are. Okay, that is oh, it was Illinois. The Illinois one is here. I actually made that mistake. That's kind of interesting. I feel like, okay, let's just look at this. I feel like Illinois has similar sign, no? I mean, yeah, okay, Indiana, Illinois have almost the exact same, so I don't think this is very blamable, but yeah. Okay, gotta pay attention to that though in the future. Okay, here we have some spring looking coverage, perhaps. Okay, where do we go then? I was considering Charlotte, but I'm not really sure about that. I don't know if the vegetation is southern. It's hard to tell. Yeah, I could see it just being, I mean, the road, the lines aren't really wide, so I wouldn't go North Carolina, I think. Maybe it's just like Bowling Green. Let's try that. I mean, where's Glasgow is there. Let's try this. It's okay. I got the vibe completely wrong, guys. It's okay. It happens. That was pretty bad, but yeah, nothing you can do about that, really. Okay, this is it's a bit of a hard location, actually. Don't really know if you go like northern Indiana or New York here. I could see both. I'll try New York. It kind of vibes a bit like Ontario, but not sure. Okay, nice. It's a good guess. Okay. This feels like... what does it feel like? Single row line is a bit strange. I like southern Kentucky, I think, here. Could see something else, but... yeah, I'll go here, I think. Okay. Nice guess. Like, it's just about knowing where the clusters are. Here there's so many palms, so we're probably gonna be like Ocala area. Yeah, that's where the cluster is. Okay, one pretty horrible guess there, but the rest was like fine, I think. Okay, it's kind of off-grid, which is interesting. But yeah, just for reference, before using this, you have to check that the copyright is 2023. I mean, sometimes the copyright's gonna be fake, but like 95% of the time at least it's gonna say 23 when it is. So might as well, yeah. In an actual game, you'll have to confirm that it is 23 before using any of this. So with the fact that it's off-grid, I probably go Kentucky again, but I could see it being southern Indiana. It looks a bit strange. Maybe we hedge it like this. Okay. Was just Kentucky? Okay, are we in Wichita? This does look a lot like Wichita, I think. Yeah, okay. Just looks like the plains. It's a little bit dry, so it's never gonna be North Dakota, so it's just gonna be Wichita. It's not that hard. Okay. This house feels pretty northern, I wanna say. And other than that, would you go Western New York then? Because to me, it doesn't feel like Minnesota. It's not gonna be UP. I'm scared this is just Kentucky, to be honest. I could see it. Just being Kentucky. But yeah, I do prefer New York, I think. It's Middle Ohio. Yeah, there's some coverage in Middle Ohio, but I don't know why. I mean, I guess it wasn't a grid, so I didn't really like Indiana, but yeah. Ohio tends to have more random grids than Indiana, so as you can tell around here. So I guess that does make sense. But yeah, that's a bit of a harder one, probably. Other than that, the vibes made a lot of sense for Ohio area. So I'm not too surprised. Surely this is just Indiana. We do have the black band, pretty common in Indiana especially. Also exists in other states. That's South Bend. Again, we have a straight east-west grid, but we do have Illinois plate, I want to say. It's pretty hilly, but yeah, I guess I go Illinois. It's just downtown Chicago. It's fair enough. Okay, wide lines. It could be, I think it's Charlotte. Like, we have a nicer wooden house here. Pavement is fairly good. Yeah, I'll try Charlotte. It was. Okay. I think I should just be going Indiana here, probably. Straight east-west angle. Interesting single yellow line, but that's just a short period, probably. It looks kind of Northern. Yeah, okay. Nice. Okay, southern vegetation, but at an east-west angle. Interesting British flag. Don't know what that means. I'll have to check here, because east-west angle with southern vegetation is pretty strange here. What could it mean? Would it be here? I don't think that's winter. It's April though. And don't really think it's... Okay. Could it be Arkansas then? Arkansas has a lot of winter coverage, but... I wasn't really... I mean, surely this is tropical, like... Surely I'd just go Florida then? I mean... Yeah, okay. It's kind of... It was a bit hilly for Florida, I thought, but... Yeah, okay. This is just Amarillo, pretty typical landscape for Amarillo. Very dry fields. Texas, wide lines and grainy pavement. A lot of windmills, which you do get in that area as well, so everything checks out. We're just gonna send. Should be Wichita here. Yeah, unless it's actually North Dakota. This is a bit green, so I'll have to think this one out a little more. I mean, sunflowers are a meta for Kansas, so I guess you just go Kansas here by default. Yeah. And it is North Dakota. Yeah, that is one of those hard locations. I feel like it is a bit green for Kansas. But the lack of trees and those wild sunflowers make me... You made me troll a bit there. I mean, there were more trees over there. If we were closer to them, maybe it would have helped. Yeah, I mean, there are some northern-looking trees. Yeah. Kind of makes sense. I mean, you are gonna get North Dakota way more commonly than Kansas, so probably should have thought about that by default. I mean, here you can tell Kansas is usually very dry, but you also have locations like this that get more green. So yeah, it can be a 50-50. It is missable sometimes, but yeah, usually it's fairly tellable apart. Okay, I think this is our first instance of Minnesota black car, if I'm correct. What else could it be? Just New York, maybe? I think I'll lean Minnesota. It feels a bit like the plains, but a bit too forested at the same time, so try Minnesota. Yeah, it is. Nice. Okay, pretty forested. Black car here. I think I'll go New York, maybe Eastern New York, because it's like deep forest. So yeah. Okay, bit more north. It's fine. Immediately I'm getting Western New York here, maybe. This looks like spring, but maybe it's something else. Okay, I mean, this is a southern house, clearly. The red brick architecture like that. So, in the south, do you go Charlotte here? I kind of like Charlotte, I think, with the spring courage. But it could also be southern Kentucky, but to me, the trees... I don't know. I don't think it's Kentucky, but we'll see. Okay, nice. Alright, we have another east-west road angle. Fairly northern vegetation, I think. There's a fir tree around there. Probably just thinking northern Indiana then. Yeah. Okay. This is probably North Dakota. With the big fields. Okay, we have county signs. Not very useful. But yeah, like not that many trees. There are some, but not too many. I'm kind of afraid this is Minnesota, to be honest. I could see Minnesota here. Because it is kind of forested, but yeah. Usually Minnesota tends to be spring or like winter looking courage, so I'd still lean more Dakotas. We don't have paired rumble strips, so maybe I want to try like South Dakota spill, which is mentioned in my guide. Yeah, let's try. Yeah, it is Minnesota. Damn. Yeah, that's kind of bad, but I guess you do get some summer courage. Like a lot of it is April, which is why I didn't want to go there. Yeah, this is kind of an outlier location. Like, yeah, at least I did consider it, but like, the only reason you would have to go Minnesota there is probably the lack of paired rumble strips. Like, on a road like this, you'd probably have paired rumble strips in North Dakota. Now here we have a blue car. Maybe that's, yeah, it's like recovered courage. So where would we go? Where would we go if this was Black Car 23? Don't really know, to be honest. Yeah, I have no idea actually. This is pretty hard. I think I'll go New York by default, but it's just Virginia. It's because it's like a weird cluster. It's not very common to get. Yeah, it's some stuff like this. Yeah, these individual locations, I could have deleted them because like it's usually not very useful. I mean, it's never useful, let's be real. We do have the black wrapping, so surely we just go Indiana here. Okay. Check for copyrights 23, just like you'll need to do that in an actual game, like where you're not just practicing black 23, obviously. Okay, this looks northern, but I'm struggling to tell what it is. Yeah, the pavement and everything kind of feels midwestern here. It looks like Wisconsin, but do you have this coverage in Wisconsin? I don't know. I'll probably still go there because to me the landscape is kind of weird for New York, so I don't think it's New York. We'll see. Oh, it's Maine. That didn't cross my mind, but I guess that makes sense. I don't know. Okay. Usually Maine is very straightforward. This is not that straightforward for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. This is not the average Maine location, really. Okay. I don't really have much to say on that, like, other than Wisconsin doesn't really have black 23, so I shouldn't have went there. But I mean, other than that, I don't know. Probably just Indiana here. Again, Indiana, I think. Oh, Illinois spill makes sense as well. Okay, I feel like this architecture reminds me of Canada, so it should be rather northern. Maybe it is just okay. I think this post box is Minnesota, so should be that. Okay, this time this should be North Dakota. Pretty forested and yeah, northern looking trees, rolling landscape, very green. It's just the average North Dakota. Should be Indiana, I suspect. Yeah, kind of northern trees as well, so okay, it's Illinois instead, but sometimes it's hard to tell. The average click is always Indiana on black cars, so unless you have something specific. I think we have Illinois plates here, so yeah, looks fairly northern. Oh, it's Connecticut. They do have fairly similar plates, and usually that's like never in the world a 50-50, but with black car it can be a 50-50 sometimes. I mean, yeah, no, that's a bit of a ridiculous mistake, but it is gonna happen sometimes. You train this. So here you often have town names on those silos or whatever. Yeah, silos. It is North Dakota though, here with the northern landscape and trees and green vibes and stuff. And yeah, don't think there was anything to find there. Okay, let's not make the mistake again. This looks like Connecticut. This type of house I think looks northeastern somewhat. Also the rock basement. Yeah, I think it should just be Connecticut. Okay, we have a black wrapping. Thinking Indiana, probably. Again, east-west road angle, probably going Indiana, could be something else, but like, it's just the average click. Yeah, I mean, this exists. This does exist, but like, it's pretty uncommon to get it. I mean, yeah, I think this is just no one's going Michigan on this if they know like there are clusters, because like this could have very well just been like around here, you know. So I think that's fine. Okay, maybe we do have a black wrapping again. It looks, the spring coverage makes me think it could be New York, but at the same time I think this more like gray-ish type car. It's more common in like Indiana, so I'll just go for it as well with the wrapping. Yeah, it was just that. No fronts, so probably Indiana again then. Or maybe Michigan with this double type pole. like signpost, but no. It is just Indiana, makes sense. Okay, a ton of windmills. They are very common in Illinois especially, but probably also findable in Indiana. I'll try Illinois though. Ooh, it's Saginaw again. Oh my god, that Saginaw is a nightmare. I mean, trees look northern, I guess, but like the road quality is kind of weird also. But I mean, realistically, again, not many people are gonna go there. Just gonna go Indiana here. Okay. Pretty forested and hilly landscape. Maybe going Kentucky then. I don't get the New York vibe here, so yeah, I guess I prefer Kentucky. It's Eastern Tennessee. Yeah, I mean, it's not very common, so nothing really to remember here. Okay, I think this could be an Indiana plate. Just go for it. Yeah. Okay, surely this is finally a New York location. The Fall Courage, or maybe Connecticut. Yeah, I think I'll try in here. Okay. This just looks like Indiana or yeah, Illinois maybe because it's you get less trees generally for some reason in Illinois, I feel like. It's more deforested vibes. Okay, is this UP, Upper Peninsula, Michigan, or because we have paired rumble strips, so it's not gonna be Minnesota. It looks very northern, so let's just try that. Yeah, it was nice. I'm glad we got a location like that. Should just be North Dakota here, not much to say. Okay, winter coverage. Okay, this is a bit difficult. Yeah, it's like realistically in the game you're gonna just hedge this because don't want to take too much risk. But I'll try getting the region still. To me, this just doesn't give a Charlotte vibe, so I'm considering more west. Now, how far west, I don't really know. Maybe I should just hedge it Birmingham. Maybe it could be like the Hot Springs cluster, but I'm not really getting that vibe, so I'll just hedge Alabama. Yeah, it was Birmingham. I should have just clicked the biggest city. And this just looks like... could it be Kansas? Could it be Kansas? I mean, I'll try Kansas, I think. Yeah, okay, nice. Okay. Alright, guys, we're gonna play one more seed, I think. Looks like a Rhode Island here. The stones everywhere. Yeah. Probably Indiana. No reason to not go Indiana here. Not really sure about what I'm looking at. This looks like a New Hampshire plate, maybe. And then the rest, I don't really know. Yeah, I think I'll try New Hampshire, but don't really remember where that courage is. Okay, well, no, oh yeah, it's the main spell probably. that would make sense. Okay. Full courage. Yeah, not really much to say here. Could it just be like the hot springs courage? Do have this deep fall courage there, so I could try it. Yeah, it's just northern Alabama. Not much to do here. And looks like an Indiana, pretty typical location here. And nope, it's Saginaw as usual. As you can see, very hard to think about Saginaw on these locations. Maybe the houses are a bit different, but yeah, this is just kind of hard, I think. But yeah, I'll do one more. Hopefully able to get another 20k. It feels very dry, so I want to go Kansas here, I think. Yeah. Hard to tell what this is, if this is like southern Kentucky or North Carolina, what this is. I kind of like North Carolina more, but we will see. Okay, nice. Probably going New York here, but not too sure. Don't know what that is. Yeah. Okay, nice guess. Looks like North Dakota we have paired rumble strips to confirm. Just going middle, okay. And probably Indiana here. Don't see a reason to not go for it. Okay. Okay, that's a pretty good seed. Pretty easy though, I mean, yeah, this one was probably the hardest one somewhat, but I mean, it was a bit mountainous for Maine, and I don't know, yeah, a bit mountainous for Rhode Island, Connecticut as well, and a bit northern for Kentucky. But yeah, the other ones, I mean, this one was pretty good as well, and yeah. But overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this little session. Yeah, I guess I'll just go back and recall a bit of the clusters that you need to remember. North Dakota one is very important. The Kansas one as well is like the plains but drier. And Amarillo, but it's very gettable. Usually you're gonna go here regardless. So Minnesota, usually winter courage, but you do get some summer courage as well. This one's all summer and fall courage, and it's very unique as well, very forested rounds. Sometimes slightly wide lines. Then you have the Indiana huge cluster. You have the southern Kentucky one that pops up quite often. Central Alabama that I kind of forgot about actually. But yeah, Central Alabama makes sense. There's quite a bit of coverage there. You do have some along the Mississippi River, middle Arkansas that we didn't get. You have some in North Carolina around Charlotte. You have the Ocala cluster in Florida, which is fairly common. As for the northeast, you have mainly western New York that we interestingly enough didn't really get, but it looks kind of like Michigan, but a bit more forested and a bit more hilly. Yeah, this is average like spring New York, western New York. Eastern New York is usually more summer, and I mean more forested and more hilly. Far north Vermont we didn't get, but should be fairly gettable. Southwest Connecticut, I mean, a lot of rocks, but doesn't really look like Rhode Island. Like Rhode Island, you have the rock walls a lot. Maybe we can get a good look. The rock walls. We also have these type of houses, like with the interesting texture. I don't really remember what it's called, but it's very unique for Rhode Island and Massachusetts area probably. and Long Island you also get it. But yeah, kind of a unique vibe in coastal Rhode Island. It's fairly gettable. And then Maine, the very northern trees and spring vibes sometimes. Sometimes it's just summer as well. Where do we have summer location? We have April. Yeah, here got summer. So yeah, just northern trees, kind of Canadian feeling. So yeah, I hope you guys learned a lot from this video and that you're gonna be able to use the black car now to your advantage in the eastern US. So yeah, thanks you very much for watching and see you soon.